Finals week right here in the LEC as BDS go up against Fnatic for a spot at MSI. I'm not getting the reference. What is it? Is it some anime thing?
I think that's My Hero Academia. I might be wrong,
Aragon gets it.
Good choice.
Yes, my name is Shax, joined by Aragon and by Finn. Finn?
Finn?
Oh.
Is he under the table?
Yeah, one sec.
Oh. This guy, man.
What's he doing?
You guys like this? Is this perfect? Wow, you guys are so cool. Oh my god. Oh,
Where is he?
Oh, we're doing this now.
I'm sorry to pull you away.
I'm so
we
sorry.
have a movie to watch. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Finn.
Oh, you know how it is.
Give me some of that popcorn. Come
you
on.
want it? You want it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I do.
go.
Nice. Okay.
Go.
The movie's starting.
Started? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the movie Fnatic versus Vitality.
You're late, man. You're late.
How are you doing? You want some popcorn?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Okay, guys, please be calm, collected. Be in position to pinch them. It's all about flanks, okay, guys? If we engage first, they can't win.
Nice sidestep. Again, the engage, the flash away. The bail up there. Do they take their time? Noah, he's going to heal back up there. Wait a minute, to die to get it. Oh my god, what a 2v2. Vitality give both.
They're so bad. I am amazing, see ya.
Carry stepping up. Corsi doing a lot of work. Cleanse, flash out the finish shot. Corsi playing like a psycho. He doesn't have the feathers in position. It's too much. Noah now finally coming in, ready to play cleanup. Oscorn trying to buy his 80 carry space, and he'll buy more than enough. Good Photo can do nothing. Noah to the stream.
No flash allá, no flash allá.
I got them.
Give him nice all, give him everything. Nice.
Back in the score.
Come on, get Noah. Please get in there. Please get in there, guys. Get Noah. I can kill him. Go both. We can both, guys.
The feathers fly again. Humanoid and Noah, can they do it? And here comes Oscar. VTO not enough. Keep right standing. VTO goes back in. Reset is there. Still going down. Still going. Go again, baby.
Saya no ulti. I can ult here soon. No.
That was the best played game of League of Legends I've ever seen.
I don't know what to say. That was insane. Yeah. Incredible game to finish the series on.
Wow.
Just amazing.
Wow.
I love the plot twist.
Oh my god.
I agree.
Absolute cinema.
Perfection.
Great
Perfection, if I can say.
Anyways, with MSI qualification on the line today, we're going to send it over to GB to evaluate our chances in China.
Thank you very much, Shox. And welcome everyone to what is honestly, well, I guess a tough reality that we live in. I get it, guys. I really do. The rest of the world is looking pretty damn good right now. And let's be honest, we're not looking that great. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are some positives. So think about it, right? How amazing is Caps right now? He's performing at an all-time high. Hell, maybe he's even in 2019 form. Maybe there's even an argument that he is one of the best in the world right now. But let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. Thank you. You know, now that I think about it, both Noah and I saw Korean 80 carries, and they're pretty good. Regardless of who goes, they're probably going to do pretty well, right? I mean, Korean Ezreal, Korean Seri, to have that in our corner, now that I think about it, like it's actually pretty good. But like, hold up. Well, actually, now that I'm speaking out loud, how good it's been really. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Bin, great top laner, one of the best top laners, no doubt, but come on. He looks pretty beatable, right? Broken Blade about to break some backs, am I right, guys? Like, guys, I really think this is possible. There's a reason they're called Adam's Guards and not Adam's Dogs. This could be really, really good for us. But now listen, I'm actually really seeing it right now. Like, guys, the MSI title might be ours. There's no way it's not. The vision is clear. I can see it. I can genuinely see it, guys. MSI is going to be ours. I can barely write this. This is going all the way wrong for my life, but it's going to go right for Europe. It's Europe #1, baby. Europe all the way. I can feel it. Law, over to you, baby.
Thank you so much, GB, for this light of hope, at least I hope for the LEC, but I'm here with Nightsheriff. Thank you so much for joining me ahead of this series. How are you feeling? Because if I can roll back a bit, when I interviewed your players last week, they were not happy with the way they played. I remember Razork having some strong words after the game and Marek saying, well, I guess we're bad still. So, yeah, how was the frustration on the side of the players and maybe working towards cleaner games this week?
So, personally, I feel quite stressed today, right? Because it's like a long season. and it was like up and down, kind of emotional, right? The players are emotional, everyone is emotional. So it's kind of getting to you at some point also. But we have, like the final week, so we just push through. In regards of players, I think they are pretty confident going in. We had like 1 week of practice now, and I think everyone kind of in their head thinks, like we're better than BDS. There's no way that we should be losing against BDS in VO5. So I think that's where they're at, yeah.
What do you think made the practice good? Because when I asked this question to Humanoid last week, he was like, sometimes we win on stage, sometimes we don't, but Scream are not enough good sign of what is going to make good results on stage. So yeah, was practice good, and why do you think it was?
Well, I would say practice was okay.
We take those.
Usually it's, it's a 5-player game, so then everyone kind of has to be on top of their game individually. And then what makes practice the best you can get is usually discipline. A lot of the times, like it's fun to maybe fight here and there or do this and then not being like super disciplined. But whenever someone is like super disciplined, all 5 players, then they are always, like very on top of things. And they're like, oh, we do this, then we stop, we do this, and then it's like very, from one point to another, and it's like flowing kind of, right? And then you have the momentum and everything. So I think that's the most important thing in practice, yeah.
All right. I hope we can see this on the Rift today. You said that you were stressed. And I want to know, how do you manage this stress? Because you have to stay strong for your players and you have to absorb their stress as well. And I saw that they were really excited, especially about going to MSI already. So managing their expectations so that they don't get too much ahead of
Oops, I don't know what happened.
Hello.
It's fine.
That's us.
Yeah.
Hey.
I don't know. We were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about next, because we were actually going to talk about MSI qualification first. But I would love to just talk about what we did hear from Nightshare in that interview, which is something that we have heard echoed also on Euphoria, also in the player interviews from Fnatic last week, Aragon, the fact that they don't even feel like they're playing their best, which is, I mean, I think clear to see, but they are winning the series that they have to.
Yeah, it's quite interesting as well, especially with it feels like a little bit of a lack of confidence, but then you see players like Jun play, and he looks so phenomenal. The plays he makes across the map, the way he's grouping up with Razok and Humanoid and winning games on his own. I'm really surprised to hear of a lack of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to notice as well that there are 3 teams left in the league.
Yeah.
There's BDS, G2, and Fnatic. So when Fnatic is scrimming, they're only scrimming G2 right now. Yeah. So if practice is rough, you probably know why.
Makes sense. You might be wondering, why are we showing you what we're showing you? Well, this series is for MSI qualification, and I wanted to talk about Fnatic and historical Fnatic in the context of when they are with their backs against the wall, they usually make it happen. You know, we've seen it at Worlds where there were games they were not supposed to win or runs they were not supposed to go on. We've seen it in the LEC as well, Finn. So they are always a team that kind of has that in their DNA, it seems.
Yeah, if you put it Fnatic against BDS in terms of clutch factor, I would give the edge to Fnatic. Mostly because there are clutch players in that team, we've seen it before, but also I think their support mid and jungle are a lot more active than BDS's. BDS has a slower game that they're playing, very methodical and controlled, but Fnatic's mid support jungle really has the opportunity to push these Eastern teams to their brink.
Oh, you relayed very well into my next question, which would be about MSI. Of course, the winner of this series goes to MSI because of how the championship points have laid out. Really, you have to win this match. You don't even have to win the final, Aragon. So who do you think would be best suited to take on that international competition?
That's tricky, but my edge would go to... Okay, so I think Fnatic have better overall players, but BDS have that factor of, you know, the classic Eastern teams don't have practice against Adam's champion pool. I know it's a bit of a cop-out answer, but we saw it happen last in Worlds qualifying series last year, and I do think that they can have the edge in that regard.
I actually is mentioning that because I remember an interview from last Worlds. I was like, wow, they were asking some Chinese top laner about Adam. Like, don't worry, we see this every time in the Chinese super server. We know all the one tricks. So I'm not sure, actually. I do favor Fnatic's overall strength as a team and as individuals a bit higher than BDS right now. But we will see. I think today will decide everything, of course.
It's all about ceiling, of course. And if Fnatic can hit that famed ceiling that we've heard, also in scrims, apparently, Finn. But, you know, we know about scrims and how good your scrims can be from G2 at Worlds last year. It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
The word on the streets is that Fnatic is really good in scrims.
Okay.
I can kind of confirm that in the first 3 weeks before I started left. But then now they did have some sort of slump, it seems as well. They had a rougher spot of games, and that kind of caused them to lose a little bit of confidence. You can hear it in the interviews a lot of the times. Razork especially was very vocal about how they're not playing to their strengths. I don't know what you think regarding this.
I think it's interesting. I do think they're playing to their strengths personally, which is quite interesting to me. Noah did pop off, so maybe they're thinking of maybe we should play more toward Noah. I think Oscar's always been the weak side player, so I don't think they play towards top side. But yeah, it's an interesting take.
I mean, let's talk about top lane a little bit. Oscar up versus Adam. Their champ pools and the way they have been approaching these games.
Yeah, so I had a fear that, okay, so there's going to be a lot of swaps coming in. Yeah. I think in scrims, they're probably playing swaps every single day, and there's a lot of mind games happening here. Yeah. So my fear was that because of Oscar has been this kind of tank merchant, is banning a lot of the Sags, the Casantas, and the Rek'Sais. That is very scary to do against a player like Adam, because he's going to hit you with the Olafs, the Dariuses, and you don't want to play those matchups. So what can you do? You swap out of them. And then suddenly there's a Darius without teleport suffering against your bot lane under tower for the next game.
And I just think Oscar's champ pool is made for lane swaps. We've seen him blind picking Cassante for a year now, I feel like. And it's just going from Cassante to Zac, and that sort of playstyle really isn't that much of a shift compared to going from Darius to, you know, Zac, Rek'Sai, and doing absolutely nothing and just trying to get the scraps. We saw it last week with BDS locking in Aatrox blind and just falling behind so far. So it's a question of if Adam can adapt in this last week we've had where he's been able to watch the LPL, the LCK, and seeing what they can do.
Yeah, and also for BDS and Adam, you know, to get to MSI would be absolutely huge. I think they're a team that doesn't get as much, I want to say, fan attention, obviously, comparatively to a G2 or a Fnatic, but they've been top 4 consistently in the LEC, Finn. I guess it's all a matter of how can they break through that ceiling where they find themselves right now.
Yeah, and I think going to an international event is by far the best way to do that, because when you go there, you play against all the best teams in the world. As someone that's been there myself, you really feel like you're leveling up a step beyond. And then when you come back to Europe, everything feels so much easier. It's like everything is happening in slow motion when you come back to Europe and you're playing against the European teams again. So I really think them going to MSI would do wonders for their summer split.
So how are you still teamless?
I'm not teamless.
You were for a while.
What do you think? Next point.
Next point. Let's talk about BDS. So we talk about how can they develop, what can be different. Obviously, Ice is new in that bot lane, or new, I should say. We're used to him by now. It's been a couple of months, Aragon. But do you think it will be enough to give them that extra edge in this context, and specifically in this matchup versus Noah?
I think the way they've been playing around Ice has been phenomenal. Just feeding them a bunch of resources. I know last series was a bit rough, but they were figuring out how to play lane swaps at the same time. Yeah. The way by the end of the series, the way they were playing was just feeding Ice a bunch of different kills, and I just remember distinctly this team fight, Third Dragon, BDS, Kai'Sa just absolutely popping up and 1v9ing. I think Ice has the potential to take the series.
Yeah, but it's also the way Fnatic is playing is they leave Noah alone in the bot lane on the Saya, and he's constantly outplaying these dives, 1v2, 1v3. Can he do this today again, like he did against Vitality? I think that's going to be a very important factor today.
It is. It'll be interesting to watch for sure. There is so much on the line. You want to get to the final. You want to get into the position where you have a chance to lift that LEC trophy, but you want to get to MSI above all. What are your predictions, gentlemen?
I think BDS is taking it. Oh! I think BDS is winning 3-1 today.
3-1?
Yeah.
I completely agree. I was thinking on the way here in the taxi, I was like, I think it's BDS. Just from gameplay alone last week, I was way more convinced.
Okay. You have a little bit more time, so I'd love to hear a little bit more motivation for specifics.
I just think Fnatic right now are kind of scrambled. They don't actually know how they want to play. You can see in the Vitality series, it was very messy. Yes. And I think BDS has that aura to slow down the game and get back to control, and I think they're going to do it a lot better than Fnatic will.
I wonder if that Vitality series was a symptom of Vitality, though, and Fnatic is going to be a bit more reserved today. I feel like, you know, you said last week Vitality dragged you down into the mud, so I don't think it'll be as massive. Okay, 2 BDS predictions from my analysts. It will only be one team that will secure their spot at MSI and fight G2 for the spring title, and one team that will go home empty-handed until the summer split. It's time to kick off the LEC Spring Finals weekend.